I'm your host, Donna Cates, and each week we'll dive into powerful stories, expert strategies, and practical tools to help you take charge of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating a divorce, or simply looking to build your wealth with confidence, this is your space to grow, learn, and thrive. Let's get started with today's podcast. So, welcome everybody. I'm happy to introduce you to Latricia Trice, who's going to be sharing with us her journey in her career path so far today. So, we're going to ask you, Latricia, to give us about a 90-second overview of what you do and why you got into it.
Absolutely. My name is Latricia Trice, and I'm the founder and CEO of Trice Consulting. We are a full service marketing communications agency, and we work with a range of different clients on traditional marketing, digital marketing, communications, public relations, creative design, and really we function as an extension of their marketing team. So if a company doesn't have a marketing team or they have a limited team, our company comes in and serves as in a fractional model. And then we also do project based marketing and communications work. I have over 20 years of marketing and communications experience. I've worked in both corporate and nonprofit. And almost 2 years ago, I transitioned from corporate and launched my own company.
And that's one of the things that we have in common. I actually left corporate America about 2 years and 2 months ago.
Oh,
So,
wow. So you're new too.
right, not new at the business, but new at owning my own
Yes.
business. So,
Yep.
just like you. So we're sharp professional women. We know what we're doing, but now we're just doing it under our own umbrella, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I'd love to hear what you see as the biggest problem in your industry right now and what you're doing to solve it.
I would say a biggest problem just in business is that a lot of people have great ideas and they want to launch companies, or they have a company and they don't know, or they're having struggles with um, elevating. And so, a lot of times they do what's always worked, but as the industry keeps changing overall, like when it comes to marketing and communications and reaching people, is constantly changing, with all the technology and things that are available to people, it can be really hard. And so, really, what we come in and do is we focus on the problem that a company is trying to solve and find the right marketing and communication solutions that work for their company, the audience that they're trying to reach, and help them build from there.
So, likely every customer that you work with, every company that you work with, their situation is unique. So, it's not a one size fits all,
That
right?
is correct. We One of the things that we like to promote is that we personalize the services that we offer to companies because we really lean into how do we help you with your business growth strategy with strategic marketing. So it's not really about us giving them like a one size fits all marketing solution, but it's really looking at what is your business objectives and how can we provide marketing solutions that help support what you're trying to do.
Got it. So I want to hear this. I'd love to know what makes you unique in the way you're helping others, but specifically something that you mentioned when you did your interview intake form. I'd love to hear about the mindset that's required to build a successful and profitable business in a short time, because that's what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going on 2 years of business, and within the first 6 months, I hit six figures. And really, what helped me do that was that I took everything that I did in corporate and nonprofit and in my other roles, and I applied it to my company. For so many years, I helped other companies make money, and I built up my skills and my talents, and I deliver results. And so when I started my own business, I decided that instead of just doing this for one company, because you could always go and work for work for a company and keep building your career that way. But I decided that no, I'm going to take all my skills and knowledge and use them for myself to build my company and to help as many companies as I choose to. And so that's really what it made it unique and different because I think a lot of times as professionals with years of experience, we sometimes downplay the skills that we built over the years. And when you take a moment and step back and say, wait a minute, I've done this and that, and you pull out your brag book of all the things that you've done and you apply it to helping you become a successful entrepreneur, it's amazing the results that you can see. And I like to tell people that all of the work that I've done so far when it comes to building my customer portfolio or client portfolio, it was all inbound. I have not done any real marketing yet for my own company as a marketer, and it's really just been relationships in the brand and the results that I've delivered over the years over the course of my career. And so I think when people understand that, like if you've built up this brand and you've been the strong professional, people know you. It's not that hard to build a successful business as people may think.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take something from what you just shared, the brag book.
Yes.
I don't have one of
Oh, you
those,
need
but
to
I
get
think I
one.
would like to have one. I'm gonna make me a brag book. Thank you, Latricia. So, where do you see your industry going in the next 5 to 10 years? And I know with social media and all the different ways that we market ourselves now, it's got to be really a lot of transition or transformation. So, tell me what you see over the next few years, and how are you staying on top of that?
Yeah, I definitely think that digital will continue to grow. I think AI is going to continue to be a force and it's only going to get stronger. I do think that how you use AI and digital marketing is really a science. Like it's not just using it and you have to understand it. And I like to say you have to know how to engineer these tools to help them work for you and for your business. And so what I see is, especially for marketers, I see them learning how to really leverage the tools and being able to use them to help their clients. And I think that a marketer never has to feel like, well, people are just going to replace me with AI. No, because you got to know how to use it to make it work for you. And you still have to take that information and build a plan with it or, build an activation around it. So I just think understanding technology, understanding the role of traditional marketing is still very important because, with all the technology, people still like that personal touch. And so I think, businesses can never lose that element of how do you make people remember you by how you show up and how you build your brand presence. And it's in different ways. It's not all technology. So I think as the industry evolves or just as things change, people just really need to understand obviously the digital side, but then also like how do you still hold on to some of that traditional parts of marketing that are timeless.
And I can agree with you more about the fact that even though we have all of this technology, it's still all relationship based, and people want and need to be connected.
Absolutely. And so it's an important part of business growth in any industry. So yeah.
I agree. Okay, so let me tell you, or ask you, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to ask you what might be your biggest failure or challenge that you face this point, whether in your career or personally, and how has that shaped the way you're doing business today?
I would say over the course of my career as a professional, I did struggle with imposter syndrome. I struggled with who I was in a room, oftentimes where I was one of the only rather women or people of color, and so it can be a heavy weight on you. And I would, and so I always felt like I always had to um, do my best, which I should, but you feel that extra pressure of I can't make any mistakes. I have to perform. I always have to be at a high level. And so that was something that I had to work through and recognize who I am, be confident in who I am and what I deliver, and walk boldly in that. And so that was something I had to overcome over the course of my 20 years, just as a professional in general. Started young. I started my career at 21, straight out of college. So a lot of learning took place. I would say as a business owner, I've had to learn to charge what I'm worth. So often when you start a business, you question if people will pay you for what you're worth. And when I first started off, I was kind of timid about how much I should charge for my services. But once I realized that no, you charge for what you're worth. You want high ticket clients that will pay you for your value, and that needs to be your focus for your growth. And once I changed my mindset on that, I saw results.
And that is so empowering, especially for me. Like I told you, we have a lot in common here. So we have to be bold and be brave and know our worth and then demand what we're worth. And I think as women, we often are challenged with that as well. So I'm going to shift gears here and ask you this: if you could have lunch with any person, living or deceased, who would it be and why?
I would say Michelle Obama. I absolutely love her. I think she's amazing. I got her book Becoming, and then I went to her live tour for it and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm just further obsessed with this lady. She's so amazing." Outside of her, being a first lady and all that, she's just such a definition of a bold, confident woman that's a was a strong professional, but a business owner. She has so much wisdom. So if I had opportunity, especially now, like in her post presidential life, I would love to talk to her, and then I would like to ask her questions of what was it really like behind the White House doors. Give me give me the things you can't say publicly, but and I just think she's phenomenal. So I would love to meet her.
Oh, that's awesome, and I would love to for you to share with the audience how they could contact you if they're interested in working with you and learning more about the work that you do.
Absolutely. I am always open to connecting with new business owners that are looking for strong marketing support. You can reach me at ltriceconsulting.com. And you can also find me on social media. I'm on Instagram under Latricia Trice or L Trice Consulting, on Facebook under L Trice Consulting, and LinkedIn as well. I'm pretty active on there under Latricia Trice or L Trice Consulting. So please, I would love to connect with you. So feel free to reach out.
Yes, and I encourage everybody go connect now because we all know it takes a village, and that's what we're doing here is building a village that can support one another. So, Latricia, thank you so much for being on today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, informed, and ready to take the next step in your financial journey. Remember, building wealth isn't just about money, it's also about creating a life that aligns with your goals and values. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the women in your life who deserve financial empowerment too. Until next time, stay confident, stay empowered, and keep building the life you desire.